There have been innuendos that the Pakistani pace bowlers have been doctoring the ball or cheating. In fact, Pakistani bowlers have to learn to swing the ball, otherwise they cannot survive in cricket. In Pakistan, the ball gets struck very quickly, and as a result, we learn very early in our careers to swing the old ball.
Moody gets an edge, and that's the first wicket down. That's what Pakistan needed.
There's got to be more skill than just scratching the ball or spitting on it or putting sweat on it. There must be something in the wrist. And I just think that they've got great skill, wonderful skill to swing the ball at pace.
The two outstanding batsmen of my career were Vivian Richards and Sunil Gavaskar. Vivian Richards because I felt he was by far the most talented batsman I'd ever bowled to. He was exceptionally gifted. He had the best reflexes and the most formidable batsman, the most aggressive batsman. We had a series where at one stage we kept staring at each other, and maybe I knew at the time, that he was an individual, who had a lot of confidence in himself, and I was also possessing the same sort of thing, and I thought at that stage I would give it a draw, and that's one of the best incidents that I can remember, that we just kept staring at each other, like basically two fighters, who would be placed in a particular ring, and the only thing, that was missing at that particular time was the punches. And Sunil Gavaskar, his greatness was the best defense. Excellent management of his innings. You could see he is, and certainly as a batsman, was an exceptionally intelligent man who organized his innings all the time, who read the wickets, the conditions, the bowlers, and really in their own ways both were brilliant.
I realized it was my job to see him off because he was the most dangerous bowler from as far as we were concerned from the opposition, and it was therefore my job to wear him out. I wasn't an attacking batsman. I was mainly a person who could wear in test matches a bowler down, so it was my job, and I knew that it was his job to try and get me out, because I believe that the Pakistan team perceived me as a stumbling block to their aspirations of running through the side.
One's got to look, at Imran's record, and obviously the wickets, that he's played on throughout his career in Pakistan, and any man who got to work so hard, most certainly, in my mind, would be top of the tree.
Safely away for 4. That's a splendid 100. A great innings by Ian Botham. OBW, and will that be a wicket for Richard Hadley with his last ball in Test cricket? Gomes and Richards have to bowl out 12 overs between them. Having said that, he's just given away 4 runs.
3 now, England. And he's bowling. Both of them gone. Beaten there with a fine delivery. A little bit of extra pace too. Seems to have been beaten by the pace.
The world has been lucky in recent years to have some very special characters around. I suppose if it came down to picking one, and they were both they were all at their best. I mean, if you had Dev at his best, and you had Richard Hadley at his best, you had Imran at his best, and you had Botham at his best, it would get down, for me, to be a question of whether we had Botham or Imran. So that's how highly I regard him. At his best, he might just nudge the rest out.
Well, it's 4 runs.
Michael holding. और इमरान ने इस दफा फिर बहुत खूबसूरत शॉट लगाया है और ये 6.
John Embry now taking over at the pavilion end. Well, that's a big one, is that?
And that's not what he's been doing earlier. That's a massive 6 for Imran Khan.
I think that Richard Hadley's probably a slightly better bowler. Ian Botham has a better record as a batsman in making centuries. But I think if it got really hard as a bowler, I think that Imran is the man that I would like out there, because he would still be trying to bounce the batsman out even if the wicket's really flat. A lot like Dennis Lillee. Richard Hadley, I feel, he gets a bit mechanical at times. He sort of says, oh, well, this wicket's pretty flat, I'm not going to try any bounces, so I'm just going to try line and length. Imran has that spirit, as I say, much like Dennis Lillee, where he'd be saying, well, to hell with that, I'm going to try and knock this bloke's block off, or I'm going to try and get him ducking and diving. I'm going to try and make something happen. And as a batsman, as I mentioned, I think he's the sort of fellow that if the team is really in trouble, as they were in Adelaide, he came up with a century.
Pakistan, unbelievably, 3-7. Imran Khan, the skipper, has decided that he's the one to come out and sort all this out.
Drive, that's down the ground, that's knocked away by Campbell. They're going through to the single, that's 100 for Imran. Well played, a superb captain's knock.
My winter 2 months, all the Sundays, because Sunday was a holiday, were spent chasing kites. And really, I can't tell you how obsessed I was, and my nephews now are obsessed with the same sport. And even now I enjoy whenever, you know, the Basant festival comes. I love going over there in the old city and the flying kites. My taste in music has changed over the years. I mean, it never was either pop music or Indian. There was always everything included in it. But at the moment, my great passion is Mr. Fateh Ali Khan. The 3 books I've written so far, 2 on cricket, which I found very easy to write because cricket is my subject. I write articles in newspapers. I don't find it at all hard writing on cricket. But the 3rd book was on a trip I did, which is basically a book on Pakistan. And the reason I did it was not because of any other reason, but simply because there are no books on Pakistan. I mean, there are friends who used to want to come to Pakistan always complained there wasn't hardly ever anything to read of the country. But currently, I'm doing a book on the tribal area in Pakistan, and the reason for the book was because I just happened to go there to Waziristan, where originally my mother's family comes from. And I just went there to have a look, and I was so fascinated by what I saw that I decided that I must write on it. And I've been working on that